dedicated to the grind and dedicated to you. That's why we do what we do. This is Power Grind Sports, talking about the biggest names in sports and entertainment. This is what's hot in the world of sports. Oleksandr Usyk has been granted a little bit of time to keep that IBF title, and we're going to talk about why Oleksandr Usyk was allowed to keep the IBF belt. Yeah, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend about Power Grind Sports. We are jumping into the world of boxing, and I'm just saying, man, a recent decision just came down, and now the boxing world is just fussing and just arguing back and forth about things right, double standards, and blah, 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 right? So the International Boxing Federation, known as the IBF, has allowed Oleksandr Usyk to retain his heavyweight title belt despite having a mandatory defense against a Croatian challenger by the name of Filip Govic, right? Now, this has been a developing issue. Everyone is fussing about it on social media right now. Now, if you don't know, Oleksandr Usyk just defeated Tyson the Gypsy King Fury and became the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Yeah, he just unified all of the belts. Now he is officially undisputed. Yeah, WBC, WBA, IBF, and the WBO belts all belong to Oleksandr Usyk. Do you understand? Oh my God. Okay, so now he had an IBF mandatory challenge, right? But Darren Peoples, the president of the IBF, he confirmed that as a reigning champion, Oleksandr Usyk has the right to request a temporary exemption from defending his title against the mandatory challenger, right? So Usyk's promoter, Alexander Krusik, he filed a request that was within the legal time frame so that he could get granted that extension. Now, why is this important? The rules have already been established. You have to, it's a time frame and a window of time that has to be requested for that exemption. That was met, and that is the reason why Oleksandr Usyk was granted the exemption. Now think about this though. Oleksandr Usyk went 12 rounds with Tyson Fury, and man, when I tell you that was one of the best fights that I had seen, when I saw Tyson Fury fighting Oleksandr Usyk and I saw this back and forth, it made me think of Devin Haney against Vasyl Lomachenko. It was just back and forth. It was so good. It was a really good fight. Now, of course, with Devin Haney and Vasyl Lomachenko, people are so angry because their guy did not win, and then people are arguing. But if you could just take away from the fact, if you could just take away who you wanted to win, and you just looked and enjoyed the fight, Oleksandr Usyk fight versus Tyson Fury and Devin Haney versus Vasyl Lomachenko, man, those were some great fights, man. I'm telling you, man, that was just awesome right there. You got what I'm saying? But anyway, like I said, Oleksandr Usyk goes the distance, 12 rounds with Tyson Fury, and he solidifies his status as the undisputed champion, right? But like with this situation, he has a mandatory rematch clause, right? And Tyson Fury activated that rematch clause. Now, with the IBF, even if they don't honor your rematch clause, they don't care nothing about the rematch clause. The only thing they care about is the mandatory challenger. So The mandatory challenger wanted Philippe Govic wanted the fight. However, Oleksandr Usyk signed the exemption. The exemption was granted, and that is the reason why he is not fighting Govic next. I hope that makes sense to everyone, because it seems as if there's a lot of controversy surrounding that right there. Now, back to the Usyk-Fury rematch. It's going to take place in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, right? And I'm hearing that it's going to be in August or October of 2024. I'm not certain about the actual month, but I know that I'm looking forward to it. And they're going to be fighting for all 4 of the championship belts. You know, like I said, the IBF president, he emphasized, from me reading this article, right? I just read an article about it, whatever. And he was emphasizing that the board of directors, you know, they reviewed Usyk's exemption request. And, you know, and it's standard. It's like a typical exemption type of request. And usually is granted in those types of situations. You know, so that means that Usyk fighting Tyson Fury is going to be for undisputed again. So right now, Oleksandr Usyk is going to be the defending undisputed champion. He's defending his belt. Now, he's already getting ready to go down in history as one of the greatest Ukrainian boxers that ever lived, because he was an Olympian. He medaled. He was undisputed at cruiserweight. He moves up to heavyweight, defeats Anthony Joshua, becomes unified. Now he defeated Tyson Fury, that bigger man, and became undisputed 2 times. Man, come on. That is ridiculously talented, and I don't even know what to say else about that situation. All I know is that undisputed status, he has it. And I don't know whether or not anyone's going to take it anytime soon. You know what I'm saying? Now, if the IBF had not granted this exemption, Philippe Govic would have faced Daniel Dubois for the IBF title June 1st in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. But since that exemption is in place, then they're still going to fight, but it's just not going to be for a belt. But hey, I still think that it is very significant for both of those individuals, because guess what? That means that they are up next. So if Govic defeats Dubois, or if Dubois beats Govic, then guess what? He's going to get the official, he's going to become the official IBF challenger. So that's going to set the stage for a matchup again for undisputed. Even though I think that Usyk will defend his undisputed belts, and whether he wins or loses, he will drop the IBF belt. Because most of the times when boxers become undisputed, they drop the IBF belt. I don't know why. You know, they keep the WBC. They want to keep that green belt, but man, they will let the WBO and the IBF belt, they'll let it go in a split second. You know, this is what I noticed. You know what I'm saying? Hey, this is what it is. So, like I said though, these decisions have significant implications for boxing promoters and the boxing world. And thinking about Eddie Hearn, he's the owner of Matchroom, or he's affiliated with Matchroom. I'm not certain. I know he's a promoter, and I think he owns Matchroom Promotions. I think. I am not certain. But, you know, he was speculating. He was throwing some names out there, and there's speculation that the former world champion, you know, the guy who got defeated by Oleksandr Usyk, Anthony Joshua, he's gonna want the winner of Philippe Govic and Daniel Dubois. So I think they're gonna fight in August, and then Anthony Joshua wants to fight in September against the winner of that to make him the individual next in line to fight for undisputed. That's crazy, right? So anyway, June 1st, Riyadh, the WBC champion Deontay Wilder is facing Chinese heavyweight champion Zhali Zhang. Well, he's an ex-champion, but you get what I'm saying. Now, both fighters are bouncing back from recent losses, and it's going to be a pivotal moment for those two individuals. And whoever wins is going to shake up the heavyweight division. So, hey, I did a video about that on Deontay Wilder, you know, gaining his aggression back. So who knows if he's going to defeat Zhali Zhang, because Zhang is a monster right there. You got what I'm saying? Woo. But anyway, I just had to give a quick plug about that was going down. But look, Oleksandr Usyk, he is allowed to keep the IBF belt. You got what I'm saying? He filed a exemption that was accepted. So he does not have to fight against his mandatory defense against Philippe Govic. But Govic is still fighting Daniel Dubois so that he can maintain, so he can fight Usyk next. Now, the IBF decision, though, ensures that Usyk's upcoming rematch with Tyson Fury is going to be undisputed and for all of the belts. So I don't know who's going to win, but leave it in the comment section. Who you think going to win between Usyk, Fury 2? Oh my God. Okay, so I'm going to give you some lessons learned when I was reading through all of this content about the IBF rules and Usyk and Tyson Fury and oh man, all of this just crazy drama, and then just on social media, and they were just fussing back and forth. Man, people fuss too much on social media. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, man, really? You want to get on social media just to fuss? Like, come on, man, do something better with your life. You got what I'm saying? Now, listen, lesson learned. Champions have the right to request exemptions from mandatory defenses. And that is critical in managing, I'm going to call a high-profile rematch, like the one that's getting ready to go down between Oleksandr Usyk and Tyson Fury. He exercised his right, and promoters play a significant role in navigating and negotiating exemptions and matchups. I'm telling you, man, they are so important and influential in this sport. Now, it doesn't just have to be boxing, but just in the sport generally, you know? So anyway, timing and scheduling of fights is so important. It's so crucial, and it affects the status of these fighters, and realistically, it affects their career. And I'm telling you, mandatory rematch clauses, they do not override other obligations. You got what I'm saying? So, hey, it just is what it is. And I think that's a good thing for the IBF, because when you don't allow a mandatory rematch clause to override your obligations, then guess what? It ensures your consistency, your continuity, and, you know, it just makes it where you just stick to the rules. I noticed this happened between Terrence Bud Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. I don't know if you were tracking that, but that's why they were having some problems with the rematch. You know, one wanted the rematch to happen, and then, you know, the sanctioning body was like, look, man, I'm getting ready to snatch this belt from you because you're not doing what you're supposed to do. Okay, boom, give me this belt. So Bud Crawford got the belt snatched for him, and then they elevated Jaron Boots Ennis. I don't know if you know this, but I'm just letting you know. I can see why they're putting all of these things in place. I'm telling you though, Oleksandr Usyk's recent experience in retaining the IBF belt, despite the mandatory defense against Philippe Govic, it's a valuable lesson, right? So first, like I said, champions have rights, and they should leverage them strategically to navigate through different scenarios. Like I said, the influence of promoters is undeniable because they play a major role in shaping how boxing is matched up, and of course exemptions. And then just strategic planning and timing is massively critical and it just impacts the career of a fighter. You feel what I'm saying? But I'm getting ready to get out of here. I had to give you those lessons that I'm just thinking about right there. But I'm gonna give you a moment of motivation. Listen, man, the world of boxing is like life. Life is boxing and boxing is life. But I'm telling you, man, it is an ever-evolving world where you have to have complete adaptability. You gotta be a great planner. I'm talking about, like, you gotta have strategic planning. That is so important. And Oleksandr Usyk, his ability to understand what was needed, and then his team being able to secure that exemption from the IBF, you know, it just highlights the importance of understanding and just using the rules to your advantage. So as you navigate through life, you're gonna have so many different challenges, right? So you gotta stay informed on what the rules and regulations are, and you gotta stay proactive. And if you can do all of that, then guess what? You can ensure that you make the best possible decision to achieve your goal and your desired outcome. So whether it's sports, whether it's life, look, man, you got to understand that you got to be mentally flexible. You got to be prepared to adjust and adapt, because if you could adjust and adapt, that adaptation can make all the difference, especially when you faced with obstacles and adversity in your life. You seize these opportunities that present themselves, and then you work so diligently toward an outcome that will help you. You feel what I'm saying? That's just how it is. These are my thoughts. You leave your thoughts in the comment section. This is Power Grind Sports. Turn your dedication into domination. Get out here and start dominating and stay on the grind. I'm out of here. Peace.